What is going on, YouTubers? Nick Vapor back here with another product review for you today. And we have taken a couple weeks off of doing videos just because I run a business in the Northeast Ohio area. It's starting to get nice here, so I wanted to get that up and rolling on all cylinders before I started making videos again for you guys. But anyways, today's review is going to be on the Orchid pod system. Absolutely loving this thing, guys. I know it looks a lot like the Orion. Don't criticize them for that because it is completely different than the Orion just because of the chipset that is in here. Absolutely phenomenal. But anyways, let's dive down the up close and personal camera, show you what comes in the packaging, show you everything you need to know on this Orchid pod system. Then we'll take it back up on top, give you my pros, cons, and final thoughts on this Orchid pod system. But first, let's go ahead and take a quick rip off of this thing, and we will dive down inside. Alrighty guys, and here is the packaging that your Orchid pod system is going to come in. Not much to go over. No one really gives a shit what the box looks like anyways. It's about what is inside of the box. You're going to get a USB cable for charging and firmware updates. You're going to get a user's manual, which you really don't need that shit either because I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this Orchid pod system. You're going to get one device and one pod itself. Now this is a variable wattage and variable voltage device. In the top left hand corner you're going to see your ohms rating along with a puff counter underneath of that. Wattage or voltage will be in the center, your battery indicator in the top right, and the duration of your last hit in the bottom right hand corner. This is your fire button. You're going to have your plus and minus keys for changing voltage or wattage. I am in voltage mode right now. You could see it goes up by 1 volt at a time. Not 1 volt, it'd be 0.1 volt. But it goes all the way up to 4.8 volts, and it does round robin to 3.0 volts. In order to change from voltage to wattage mode, all you're going to do is click the fire button 3 times, and it'll bring you into this menu. Now it does have wattage, voltage, or stainless steel. We're going to go ahead and select wattage because that's what most of you guys vape in anyways. So it is at 5 watts, which is the lowest it'll go. It goes by 1 watt increments all the way up to 30 watts, and it does round robin. So they did a nice job with that. The screen looks beautiful. It works perfectly. Absolutely loving the chipset that is in here. I think it works fantastic. Not much else to go over as far as that goes. On the bottom, you're going to have your little battery venting with your charging and updating port. On the top side, you're going to have your top fill method here just by unscrewing it, just like the Orion, and your airflow control that is just like the Orion as well. In order to take this pod off, it is a little bit different than the Orion. They tell you to take your thumb and press right up against the side of the pod, right by your fill port, and all that takes is that simple motion right there in order to get your pod out. Down inside, you will see a little residue, not too much though. For as much as I've used this, I am not going to complain about that at all. You're going to have your 2 gold-plated contacts inside of there, as well as on the bottom of the pod itself. All you're going to have to do is press the contacts back in together on each other, press down, and you'll hear it snap into place. Other than that, guys, there's not much else to go over. We're going to take it back up on top, talk about pros and cons, and my final thoughts on this Orchid pod system. And we are back, guys, back up on top with the Orchid pod system. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way. This pod system has taken the head seat at the dinner table. It is my favorite pod system as of today. Now I know that there's going to be 6,000 more pod systems to come out in 2019. But as of right now, this one is it for me. I got it 2 weeks ago. I have non-stop used it. It's been my all-day vape every day since the day I got it. I have barely used anything else. And by barely, I mean my bigger mods, my 100-watt mods, my 150-watt mods. I've used those. I haven't used a single other pod system. There's no reason to. It's that freaking good, guys. If you are a mouth to lung vapor, you may not enjoy this as much as I am. I like it all. I like mouth to lung. I like direct lung. I like big mods. I like small mods. I do a little bit of everything. But this thing has been my most used vape product and the most excited I've been about a vape product in a long time. I like it. I think that you guys will like it. You could pick it up at all your major sites. Vapor DNA, My V Pro, Element Vape, Heaven's Gifts, they're all going to carry it. I am a huge supporter of my local vape shop. It may be because I know the guy personally. I don't know. I like to support local businesses. So if you have the opportunity and your local vape shop has it, pick it up there. If they don't have it, or if you don't want to go out into the real world, if you just want to sit behind the keyboard and order your vapes for offline, you got to do you. Me personally, I like going to other vape shops and checking out their products as well as my hometown vape shop. I go and support him as much as I can. But I'm telling you right now, you should give this a try. I know there's going to be people out there that are huge smoke lovers. People out there that are huge Lost Vape lovers. Or Aspire. Or whatever the case might be. But give this thing a shot because it's good. It's very, very good, and you should give it a try. Now, I was a huge fan of the UL Caliburn, and that was my favorite pod system up until now. And I'm sorry, UL, this thing, the fact that they put variable wattage, variable voltage, temp control, they got a chipset in here. It's the king. As of right now, it's the head seat at the dinner table for me. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to love it as much as I will, but I'm saying that it's good enough for you to go try it out. Anyways, now that I got that gush session out, let's go ahead and go over pros and cons real quick. I don't have very many cons. As you could tell, I do like this thing a lot. So there are going to be way more pros than there are going to be cons. As far as cons go, I have 3. One being the fact that they only have one pod available for it right now. Now, they stated that this is a direct-to-lung, restricted direct-to-lung device. They have mouth-to-lung pods that are going to be available for it. They're not available yet. They're going to have temp control pods that are going to be available for this. They're not out yet. I haven't found them anyways. I don't know of anybody that has them. I can't find them online anywhere. But that's not to say that down the road they didn't set themselves up for success in selling more pods. Think about it businessly, guys. Businessly. I don't even know if that's a goddamn word, but think about it. As of right now, they only have one available. So you're forced to buy that one pod, right? Now, 2 months down the road, all of a sudden, there's a mouth-to-lung version. Everyone is going to want to try it. So they're just selling and selling and selling. It's a business thing, guys. It really is. They could have had all 3 of these available at one time, but they wouldn't have sold as many that way. And, you know, some people might not like that business decision, but it's really smart on their books. It really is. Con number 2, I would have to say that it leaks down inside of where the pod sits a little bit. It's nowhere near like your Smoke Nord or anything like that, because that thing leaks like a sieve. But I know you're going to have your smoke lovers on my channel going, what the hell, you hate the Smoke Nord? No, I don't hate it. I think if it works for you, then that's all that matters. Con number 3, I would have to say, and it's super subjective, it pops in and out of the device very easy. I've never had it pop out of my pocket while it's in my pocket, but I think that they could have made the tolerance a little bit tighter on the way this pops in and out. Subjective. As far as pros go, the chipset is beautiful. It's everything and more that you would need in a pod system. They have voltage, wattage, and they have stainless steel option, which you're going to be able to use for temp control down the road. It's a 950 milliamp battery, so that's got to be a pro. The chipset is very easy to navigate. That's got to be a pro. The battery life is phenomenal. I can go all day without a problem. The fact that you can do wattage, voltage, I've been using it in voltage mode actually, and I'm not a voltage vapor at all. But it is so smooth. The way the voltage works on here is just so smooth and it works fantastic. Wattage on here works phenomenal. As far as coil life goes, I've had it for 2 weeks. This is my 6th refill, and as you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, it's damn near empty. So you're talking 18 milliliters of juice on one pod. It's got to be a pro. The flavor is a huge pro. It's just as good as a Caliburn. It really is. And you can put as much wattage as you want to it, and I've never got a dry hit off of it, ever. I can't sit there and chain vape on it because I don't use low nicotine. So to sit there and chain vape on it, I would just be hallucinating if I did that. And I don't want to go to that realm at all. It works to the extent it is supposed to work. If you try to do otherwise, if you try to sit there and chain vape on it 500 times at 30 watts, I'm sure eventually you're going to get a dry hit. But if you use it the way that you're intended to use it, you're not going to get a dry hit on it. They did a great job with the wicking on it, and the coil that is in here works great. The flavor is great. The way the chip works is great. The top fill is for those people that don't want to sit there and use a silicone plug. You just take it off, squeeze your juice in. It works great. The airflow control ring on here is kind of loose. I guess you can consider that a con. The fact that they made the drip tip come off, I'm sure Signature Tips will probably create these because I know this is going to be a big hit. And the fact that they did the matchy-matchy with all their devices. They have white pods available with their lighter color devices. They have the black and gold, the white and gold, and the airflow control does come off of here. So what you're gonna have to do, I would think, because they only have one pod available for this as of right now that I have seen, is the smoke black. So what you're gonna have to do is when you need to change your pod out, you're gonna have to take, if you have the black and gold edition, you're gonna have to take your airflow control and put it on the new pod. Same thing with your top fill. You're going to have to take this cap off and put it on your new pod if you want it to continue to matchy-matchy. Now, not saying that the black and gold edition pod won't be available, later on at a later date, but as of right now, that's what I would do if I was you guys. If you have the black and gold edition and you want to keep matching, I would say just take your top airflow control off, your top fill off, and just put on a new pod if your pod goes bad. But as of right now, guys, I'm not going to sit here and continue to gush. Try it out for yourselves. Just try it out because I think that you guys will like it. I know I love it. So that's all I got for you today. Got a couple more videos that I want to be doing here in the next couple weeks. I got a couple RTAs, couple RDAs, and I think I have one mod that I'm going to review. So until next time, guys, make sure you subscribe and throw a comment down there in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you next time here on Nicked Out Vapor.